tell you this. You've healed more than you realize. And I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. And this conversation was brought on by my conversation that I had with one of my long term clients. And they called me up yesterday and said, "Hey, I have been living a life for a very long time that has belonged to other people and not my own. And you and my mother and my father and all the people around me, my family, the people that really poured into me, I wonder if the life that I'm living is a life that you guys would want for me." And I had to let my client know, like, hey, I need to let you know that I cannot speak for how your mom poured into you, how anyone else has poured into you. But what I can say is that my reasoning for pouring into you is because I recognize just how powerful you could become with the right people in your corner and the right people who could be there for you when you bumped your head. There would be no way in the world that we would be able to prevent you from taking chances on yourself. We actually encourage you to take chances on yourself. However, when you bump your head and you fall hard, we always want you to know that you are powerful and strong enough to get through those things. And the conversation evolved to him really processing a lot of like shame and guilt. And so I had to, when I pour into my clients, y'all, I'm a lot more vulgar. I'm a lot more vulgar in my approach when I'm talking to my clients. Because listen, I drop F bombs. Okay. I need to let them know, like, I drop F bombs, y'all. So I'm just letting this client know, like, I need you to recognize, like, what you are putting yourself through with the guilt and the shame. Like, you've got to learn to move those mountains, and you move those mountains in the face of adversity through your prayer, through your relationship with God, and most importantly, through your intentional choices. So I'm here to talk to you guys. My intentional choice, my offering for you today, or to you today, is to talk about being receptive, about unpacking your shame versus your guilt, being receptive to your birthright season and that it could absolutely be new to you, and honor the exhaustive nature of this journey. My God, today. And so I want you to check your facts against your feelings. Okay. I want you to check where you are in your life and recognize that even if you are in the midst of a chaotic moment, you still have healed more than you realize. That is my offering to you today. And I hope that you receive it with love, with kindness, and with understanding, and also with grace and peace. Okay, tap in, tap in. And then I also want you guys to recognize that I'm going through my own healing journey as well, although I am further along than I ever thought I would be. But healing is not a sprint. It is not even a race. It is just the journey that you are on, recognizing that, my goodness, there are places that you'll never go back to again. And there are places in your spirit where you recognize why you had to go through that. So before I even dive deeper into this message, thank you to my moderators and my members. You guys are amazing. Thank you to everyone who has showed up today. Thank you, Travis. Hi, smiles for you. Hi, Mike. I see all of you guys in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is Cass Young Crown. Just in case you're new here, I'm an intuitive prophetic speaker. This is the gift that God has given me. And through my own life journey, my goal is for you to live intentionally through self-empowerment and spiritual awareness. Okay, tap in. And a part of that is learning to trust yourself, know yourself, and make moves that are in alignment with your higher divine purpose and within your power. Tap in, my God, today. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about being receptive, right? Let's talk about being opening and welcoming, because in your birthright season collective, tap in. Some of you are really new to this level of energy. My God, today, some of y'all are really new to accepting that this part of your life is what you've earned, is what you deserve, and you are the rightful heir to this spiritual power. Tap in today. Now, some of y'all like, well, Cass, I can't float. I can't do, no Superman-ish. Listen. If that is how you view spiritual power, then baby, we have to have a whole nother conversation. Your spiritual powers manifest in the natural. And a lot of that comes in the unique way that you heal people and heal yourself. A lot of that comes in a unique way of how you utilize your voice, your hands, your gifts, your talents, your skills, right? Some people are carpenters, some people are social workers, some people are teachers. Let me tell you something. Being a school teacher is a spiritual calling, my God, today. And you can always tell when a teacher don't belong in the school because they behave in a way that is unbecoming. Tap in, okay? There are people out there who are attorneys. I could never be in a courtroom as an attorney, and I got to follow these strict behind rules, and you telling me that I can't cuss the judge out for being wrong. Tap in. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're just things that we show our innate gifts that God has given us. Okay. And so if you think that your spiritual powers do not manifest in the natural in a unique way that is only given to you like a fingerprint, baby, tap in. We got to have a whole nother conversation in a whole nother arena. Okay. So I want you to be receptive to the fact that a lot of you already knowing that you have these powers, you have these manifestations that you give out into the world in a unique way, that level is going to be bumped up. Okay. It's going to be like next, you're going to keep going. It's going to keep climbing. And a lot of that energy is going to be felt in your nervous system. It's going to be felt in your anxiety with your mind. A lot of that is going to open up pathways where you're looking at the world different. It's going to be like a veil is lifted off of you. And this is not the time to be scared. This is not the time to run away. I want you to be receptive of it, collective, my God, today. Okay. And so one of the ways that you can be receptive and appreciate it and welcoming is, well, I've already said it, welcoming, is to ask God, ask the universe, ask the energy, ask however you identify the source to keep you open to what's happening around you so that you can use the gifts that God has given you in the best way possible. Tap in. You guys know I am not above. I love prayer. I think prayer is one of the most unique frequencies that you have to speak to God. Okay. And some of you pray with your words. Some of you pray journaling. I'm figuring out through the emails that some of you are praying using AI. Tap in. I will never turn down a conversation to God. Okay. So one of the best ways that you can actually do that, my God, today is to put it out in the world that you want to use your unique gifts. And let me tell you something, collective. The universe is pleased. The airwaves are pleased. The frequencies are pleased when you put yourself out there to use your spiritual gifts in the best way possible. Okay, tap in. Okay. That's not to say that it's going to come easy. That's not to say that you will not face opposition, because you know when you spiritually legislate, you got the opposition trying to figure out how to prevent you from rising up. Tap in today. We are no strangers to having a spiritual warfare conversation right here on this channel. And I always want to let you know, baby, these devils, these angry, hating devils, they're going to try to interfere. But I want you to listen. Welcome. Listen, you got opposition. What's good? I told you, open up the front door and tell them what's good. You answer that spiritual warfare call like Mike and Marcus off of Bad Boys 2. Tap in, okay? But the universe is pleased. It is happy. It is content. When you start asking for the leeway, for the space to open up for you to utilize your gifts. Also, when that happens, collective, when that happens, I also need you to remember that everybody's not going to be pleased along with you. Tap in. Everybody's not going to like this new direction that you're going in. It's going to be a couple of people who truly hate the fact that you have even the audacity, like you got the audacity to ask the universe to give you something. You got the audacity to ask God to give you something, or make something that is natural in you even more prevalent. How dare you? There are going to be people around you who really, truly hate this. I mean, my God, today, there are really going to be people around you that you thought was your friends, that was riders, that was down for you. They really going to start looking at you crazy. Like, how dare you find a way to be more useful to the world? I say this once. I say this twice. I will say it 1,000,000 times. The people who turn against you when you are following your divine path, the path that God carved out for you, right? The people who turn around and start hating on you, the people who truly start to say out of their mouth, they'll start showing their natural colors, they start showing their natural ass, asking you why you think you should do this, or are you sure? They start creating that doubt, okay, the seeds, the planting of doubt in your mind. Not because they care, but because they don't want you to leave them. You activate that within them. Tap in. Your light activates the dark within people. So the people that you thought was cool, all of a sudden now they coming at you. There's some aggressiveness towards you. Like, where did this come from? Baby, it came from the fact that you stepped into your light and now they got a problem with it. How dare you leave them behind? How dare you find your way when they haven't? Okay, tap in, collective. Expect the slander, expect the jealousy. Hi, Chardonnay. Smiles, I don't know if I said hi, but hello to you. Like, expect all of it, collective. And you already know what I say. Let them fester. Let them hate. Because that's not yours to deal with. I already told y'all, don't be running into other people's towers. I already told y'all, don't be trying to save other people who don't even want to save themselves. Let me tell you something. If somebody is feeling activated, if they're feeling negative, that you are truly finding your light in your way, oh, baby, that's a them problem. Don't you try to go in there and soften the blow. Don't you try to go in there and tell them, oh, it's okay. You don't have to worry. No. No, don't you go in there and try to save anybody from their own jealous spirit. That is not your spirit to attach to. Tap in, collective. I need you to be receptive to this message. I need you to be very clear, because you can trick yourself into saving somebody who don't even know why they are activated in jealousy, because you know your mission. That's odd behavior. Okay. Type of one in the chat. You feel what I'm saying? Type of one in the chat. You know where I'm coming from with that. I'm very particular and continuously pointing that out for the collective, because the collective, with their healing hearts, with y'all all healing selves, will run into somebody else's. I know every time you come in here with that name, I just say I love it. It's so beautiful. Cosmic Child, the Most High. Love it. Y'all healing selves will run and try to save people who don't even want to save themselves. So I just feel it necessary to continuously tell you and remind you to sit the F down. Okay, tap in. Now, this is where the heart of my conversation comes in, and why I started out with that message with my client earlier. Because in your newness, in your receptive in your birthright season, where God is like placing your crown on your head, like you know what you must do. You know the journey that must happen, but you're more content. You're more solid in your approach. You know who won't be there for you, and you know who to step away from. Your boundaries are stronger than ever, right? Your skin is thicker than ever. You're not easily swayed, right? So you in your position, you standing tall, shoulders back, you ready, you armored up with the armor of God, like you just suited up and booted up, like you just like, all right, I know what this is, okay? Some of y'all, hello, Sweden, welcome. Some of y'all will punk yourselves out of your divine mission. Excuse me, let me say that again. Some of y'all will punk yourselves out of your divine mission. And you like, Cass, wait a minute, you just told us, baby, you just said that we were suited up and booted up. You said that we was ready to walk in the heart of God. You said that we was ready for this mission. Like, so what you mean we gonna punk ourselves out, baby? Some of y'all be ready for the mission, and then you start traveling back in time, and that shame and that guilt of whatever happened in your past starts showing up. And I need to let you know right now, you've got to be stronger than your mistakes. You've got to be stronger than your falls. You've got to be stronger than that. Your guilt and your shame will terrify you into taking a lesser place than what was asked for by you and what was blessed to you by God. My God, today. And I need to be very clear. Come here, collective. Come here. Okay. I need to be very clear that some of that guilt and shame is not even yours to carry. Oh, did I say that? Let me say it again. Some of that guilt and shame is not even yours to carry. Some of that was placed upon you, a lot of it, most of it was placed upon you in your childhood. A lot of that was placed upon you in your teenage years, in your early adulthood years. Tap in, collective. Like, we really need to stop. We really need to stop and take a deep breath. Because when you live intentionally, you check every single thought that's coming to your mind. You check every single emotion that comes up to you, right? And so if one of the emotions or thoughts that come up as you trek along this newfound glory of yours is that you are unworthy, oh baby, that might be a seed that was planted in you a long time ago, or it might be a seed that was planted in you by a previous relationship, romantic relationship. Could have been your mama in a familiar relationship. Could have been your daddy. Could have been your cousin. Could have been a hating hoe in the back. That's your sister, your brother, a friend. Something that was planted in you, you didn't even know was there until you reached this level. That seed was planted in you so that when you got to this level and it bloomed, you got scared and you was like, okay, instead of me pushing past this moment of fear or pushing past this moment of being scared, I retreated. Collective, I'm not going to let you retreat. I am not going to let you retreat, collective. That is the worst possible thing you could do for yourself at this moment. Because 10 years will go by before you recognize that you should have taken that step in the first place. I know some of y'all right now, my God, today, I know some of y'all right now looking at your past and thinking about all the times you were suited and booted to take your life to the next level, and something spooked you out of taking that next step. And that something that spooked you, baby, wasn't even your own thoughts. Wasn't even your own thoughts. So when the unworthiness comes up, I need you to check the facts. I need you to check your facts over your feelings. I truly need you to take a moment in your time, in your day. Take a moment and say, is this unworthiness mine to carry? Or did somebody place that on my shoulders to carry because they themselves felt unworthy and therefore wanted me to feel the same thing that they did? And knowing the collective, my God, today, 10 times out of 10, it's not even yours to carry. 10 times out of 10, it's not even yours. I said 100% of the time. 100% of the time, collective. A lot of you have been humiliated into choosing differently. A lot of you have been humiliated to not believe in yourself. When you said, I believe in myself more than the box that people have put me in, and people laughed at you. Shame is a hell of a drug. Tap in. Nobody is above shame. Nobody has been unaffected by change. Shame, excuse me. Every last person, because society will shame you. Your family will shame you. Your friends will shame you. And they do it in real slick ways. They don't even come out and just say, you should feel ashamed of the fact that you want to do better in your life. They don't come out and say it just like that. Oh my God, today. They don't do it just like that. They really do it in a slick way. They be like, oh. Y'all heard me? Okay. Is that what they spent all that money on your education for? Oh, so you want to write a book? As you know, there's a lot of other book writers out there that didn't make it. You know who? Listen, one of my favorite shaming tactics, okay, was off of Sister Act 2 when Lauryn Hill wanted to be a singer. And she said, Mom, I know I got it. And her mom was like, listen, I need you to get your education. Your father, shaming, your father was out there on his shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That wasn't Lauryn Hill's battle to carry. I find so many different lessons in that one scene. That wasn't for Lauryn Hill to carry. It wasn't. But because mama was hurt and in pain because she was left holding the bag, that wasn't on Lauren to hold, baby. Tap in. So Cheryl Lee Ralph was like, your daddy died on that corner singing his shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And I'm not going to allow that to happen to you. Now, Lauren was under the tutelage of her household. So she didn't have any like real choices. But imagine the shame that was placed upon her, my God, today. Woo! That was placed upon her in that one moment where she believed in herself more than the box that she was put in. So the strength that she had to find to defy that box, which was an authoritative figure, that was her mama, to say, my talent is good enough. I can at least do this. Hi, Annette. I can at least do this. I can prove that I got the sauce. I could do this. That took strength. You know how scared I would have been to forge my mama's name and go do something that she literally was like, no, girl, my mama would have came up on that stage. And as soon as I'm over there, my mama would have been up there right with me, looking at my face. Oh, really? You want to defy me? Get your ass off the stage. Okay. Oh, shout out to my mama. Shout out to Mama Cass, right, with a belt. Now, listen, that was in my household. But just using Lauryn Hill's example from Sister Act 2, that is not uncommon. That's not uncommon for the collective to experience that level of shame, that level of blame for something that they didn't even do, for a talent that God has given them and they need to express. That's not uncommon. The difference is collective. My God, today, hi, Emery, the difference is collective is that you don't have to listen to nobody. And that when that shame, when that reaction comes from you, when you feel like you're unworthy because you were humiliated for believing in yourself, you actually get to stop and say, wait a minute now. This ain't on me. This ain't on me. That was them. And so my goal, as I'm harping on this being ashamed, this being unworthy, this humiliation that you've gone through, literally, I just want you to recognize that you don't have to hold that. You do not have to hold that. I want you to ask yourself, are you doing something that goes against your values? Are you doing something that that rejects who you are? My God, today. That's really like the question. Your intrinsic values. Sometimes it don't go with everything. Listen, it's not going to always be in alignment with what you were taught. That's really what I want to say. It's okay to break the rules. And I'm looking at the word strong here. I love this because it says you're able to overcome obstacles easily. When you're dealing with humiliation, unworthiness, shame, being ashamed, it takes a lot of self-acceptance to recognize that if it's unjustified, you have to break through it. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say that many of you have not done things that you are unproud of, that you're not proud of certain moves that you had to make. Nobody here is perfect. I ain't never seen a perfect person as long as my eyeballs have been opened. Okay. So if you are somebody that's dealing with guilt and shame, I truly want you to just bust it down to, is it valid? And is it something that strengthens your valor, strengthens your armor, so that you never have to make that mistake again? Tap in, my God, today. Or is it something that's so hideous that it stops you from believing that you should move on? Tap in. That's a real thing. I never want to sit here and act like, oh no, we just gonna move past. No, people are dealing with real shit out here. People are dealing with real hurt out here. And you can be a part of the collective, still be conflicted. It's the word I was looking for. My God, today, you can still be conflicted and recognize that you have a gift and continue to heal and work on that confliction. Tap in. Whew. But it takes a lot of strength to even recognize that. Yeah, exactly. Or is it a lesson or a reminder of the lesson learned? Tap in. Whew, my God, today. Mm, mm, mm. I'm loving today's message and I'm feeling so, y'all, just a moment right now. I feel so good in the way that I'm delivering my messages from like just the start of this month until now, because again, my ultimate goal is for you to live a life of alignment, excuse me, through intentional choices. And your intentional choices that you have to make, it looks so different from the next person. That's what I love about it. Nobody's choices look the same. There's so many points of intersectionality of your life when you make a decision where you get to pour into you, collective. Take strength. But that also leads me to this next point. The next point is a lot of you are tired. Scratch that, tap in. Many of you are exhausted. Oh my God, today. Many of you are drained and just completely spent. You are fucking exhausted. And that goes back to my message that I uploaded. I know a lot of you haven't even seen the message, but go back to it. It's a really good one. It's a message about resting and how some of you have actually been guilted, going back to this shame. Some of y'all have been guilted into believing that rest is somehow bad. Society has guilted the collective in believing that rest is bad. What? No. Pause. Literally fucking stop. You resting is not against the spiritual laws. As a matter of fact, you must rest. How do you clear your mind? Like how do you just how does your body recover? You must rest. And I don't mean like sleep and then wake up and go hard body again. Tap in. There are seasons for continuous movements and then there are seasons for rest. And I think what I called it was like this is a royal resting period. Tap in. Within your birthright season, a part of your birthright is to be able to recognize when you must royally rest, when you must tend to who you are, when you must tend to the slower parts of you. And even in your rest, you're not completely stopping, you're allowing growth to happen. You must rest. And a lot of you in your resting season, in your micro resting season, tap in collective, you must, and I mean, this is, you need to. Come here. Okay. In this resting season, I'm drawing a frequency between us collective because this is really important. In your resting era, in your birthright season, collective, you must show yourself empathy. Yeah, you must show yourself empathy. If you do not show yourself empathy, you will fall apart. You must remember why you are here. Your mission that you don't even have a choice to accept because God gonna slap you in the forehead with it anyway. Your mission requires rest. I think in my example that I use collective, if you go and watch that video, it got like 30 views. I don't even think it cracked 30 views. It's such a great message. In that message, I was like, man, Lord of the Rings, after the last battle, all of them just sat down. Every last one of them just sat down. They was exhausted. Okay. After the return of the ring, after homeboy threw the ring in the fire, there was a whole other book after that about how they just rested for years. For years. Rest and relaxation, R and R, literally takes time. So some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, I've been resting for 6 months, because you need 6 months. Tap in, collective. Some of y'all are like, oh my gosh, I've been resting for a year, because you literally needed that year to recover. Tap in. Why are you being so hard on yourself when it comes to you resting, when it is a necessary part of your journey? Now, resting doesn't mean you completely stop focusing on your dreams. You completely stop focusing on the mission. Is that you have empathy for what your body is going through. You have empathy for what your mind has been through. You are literally recognizing that you have to slow down. And I don't know. Actually, I do know. I know what it is where the collective feel like you always, hi April, that you gotta go hard body all the time. The hustle culture has infiltrated every bit of us, not just with money, but with our minds, with what we do with our energy. I am not going to allow the hustle culture or any other culture take away from you what is absolutely necessary. And that is to rest. Let me tell you something. I rest every chance I get. Okay? I rest every chance I get. As a matter of fact, I'm about to rest even more. Collective, listen. The way I'm about to just listen to every bit of my body, especially because we're going into the cold season this weekend when it starts to rain and it gets cold here in Southern California, the way that my knees, my elbows, and my hands are about to shrivel up due to this arthritis that the military so lovingly placed on my body. I'm gonna be up in bed. Y'all see I got my cover on right now. I'm gonna be up in bed. I'm gonna be sitting on every heating pad I possibly can. That's just to rest my body because I need it. My God, today. Okay, so somebody by the name of Sweet Tooth said, but if we can't do this, we'll become poor. Please give us practical advice. How you gonna become poor if you rest? I didn't say you had to stop working. I did not say you had to stop working. No. Tap in. Hey. Like, no. So I don't really understand. No, you don't have to stop working in order to rest. Again, these are intentional moments. So you resting could mean you saying no to going out with your friends. Resting could look like instead of you running up a mountain, you walk. Like resting just means not having to put so much forth because you think you have to in that moment. No, you don't. I keep telling y'all in this season, your birthright season, I keep saying, no, you don't. The practical advice is be practical with yourself. Don't mean you stop making your money. I will never ever tell you stop making your money. T2 responded, I feel we are dragged into this hustle culture because others grind. We are forced to do the same. No, you're not. Who's forcing you? Hustle culture is a culture that you can actually leave. You don't have to stay there. I'm not dragged into the hustle culture. I'm not dragged into the rap culture. I'm not dragged into any culture that I don't want to be in or participate in. I can understand it. I can recognize it. I can even be a former participant of it. And you know what? The hustle culture fucking sucks. It's not fun. It's terrible because it keeps you on go all the time. No, I choose to rest. So if you feel that you're dragged into the hustle culture, you got to ask yourself why. Your grind doesn't look the same as my grind. And that's because I intentionally live my life that way. Now, our lives won't look the same. And I do understand if you are in a season where you must grind, but that season doesn't have to last forever. Tap in. So no, I unfortunately I see for you that you feel as though you have to participate in that type of call. No, you don't. No, you don't. But that also requires you to make different choices. You might have to let go of some things so that you don't have to hustle. What does that look like for you? How is your life going to change? Or you might say, I got to be in this hustle culture until I can make this amount of money to pay off this. Okay, so then you plan your life after that. Tap in. But no, I don't feel dragged into the hustle culture. And I hope that many of the collective that's listening to this message don't feel like they're being dragged into the hustle culture either. So show yourself some empathy. That's why I said a lot of you are feeling exhausted. A lot of you are feeling drained because you believe that you have to show up in a certain way. Again, I feel like that leads to you feeling unworthy to rest. No, I'm asking the collective to let go of that mindset. And you can plan your escape. Again, I recognize that life happens. I recognize that you got to move in a certain manner. I recognize all of that. But collective, if you got to work for 6 months and hustle hard for 6 months, and then you like, okay, after the 6 months, whatever I got paid off, I paid off. Whatever I can do, I can do. Whatever I need to let go, I need to let go. Let me download all the movies I can so I don't got to pay for Netflix, pay for Prime, pay for. Listen, you got to make the moves how you got to make the moves, my God, today. But no, you don't ever have to be dragged into anything. Tap in. So that's my answer to that. Okay. So I want to validate you in your experience and knowing that you might actually have to hustle for a minute, but no, you ain't got to hustle forever. I recognize that you might be in a culture where it is normal to hustle, where it's normal to be in that culture. You can unnormalize that. You can absolutely invalidate that normalization. Tap in. But I really want the collective to recognize that it's not a privilege. It's really not a privilege. And I would really love for you to recognize that your circumstances change, right? And it's not a forever thing. And if anybody recognizes circumstances and feeling stuck and being stuck, it's me. It is me, baby, the queen of transformation, starting over again and being in my own way. Like I said, moving forward seems tough. Moving forward is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. There is no easy collective. Tap in. Come here. Hi, Clyde. Tap in. There is no easy way. It gets easier, but there is no easy way. Ever. Ever. It gets easier. Tap in. So if your circumstances don't allow for you to go to bed 15 minutes earlier, if your circumstances don't allow for you to turn your phone off for a half hour to rest your eyes and rest your mind, if your circumstances don't allow you to eat a bundle of grapes or a bunch of grapes over cookies, tap in. If your circumstances don't allow you to say, not today, I'm not going to do that today. If your circumstances don't allow you to draw boundaries, if your circumstances don't allow you to add an additional 5 minutes to pray, if your circumstances, notice I'm not saying anything that has to do with money, right? If your circumstances don't allow you to do something that doesn't have anything to do with money, then what's really going on? So again, the privilege does exist. Is what do you find important enough to shift or give up? Tap in. You know what privilege exists? The privilege of your mindset shift. Again, not going to be easy. And I will never sit up here and pretend that it is. Ever. My God, today. But now, you got, there's a mindset shift that must have, and I say this with all love and respect, all love and understanding that you might really be going through some shit right now. I will never erase that from your journey. But I'm not asking you to change everything overnight. I'm asking you to make one decision that intentionally shifts what you can receive, even if it's 60 seconds. That's an intentional shift. That's not a privilege. That's a right in your birthright season. That might not be something that you want to hear because you want everything to happen overnight and change overnight. But baby, it literally takes one step at a time. Look at the collective. The collective will tell you it took years of one step at a time. It took 6 months of doing the same tiny step over and over again to find a better way. 6 months of the same tiny step over and over again for another path to open up. The collective knows this journey all too well. And so when something happens instantly or overnight for the collective, their overnight or instantly took 10 years to build. We should have some empathy and sympathy with yourself. Makes a huge difference. In the collective, I don't even think I said hello, Guardian Oracle. The collective knows this oh too well. And that's why I say having that empathy is so important. You are exhausted. Allowing yourself to rest and recover is important. And the rest and recovery took the collective years to get to because of the hustle culture, because of what was placed upon them as kids, because of their trauma, because of their shadow work. Oh my God, today. So collective, my message is very short. I will not be long, but I sure enough will be strong. Collective, this conversation is knowing that you healed more than you think. And even that brief conversation with the commenter saying that they will become poor if they leave the hustle culture. When I'm talking about money cannot fucking buy. I'm not talking about what money can buy. Of course you want to live. Of course you want things to be easy. Of course you do, collective. Of course there are going to be moments in your life where you got to grind. Of course. I'm talking about finding your happiness. Talking about finding peace. Talking about finding opportunities where you can pour into yourself. Ain't gonna be no job on the face of this planet that's worth your sanity. I would rather flip burgers at McDonald's, which is an honorable job, than to be a part of a hustle culture that hates me. I would rather live in a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment than to be blinded by a big house with hellified taxes if that meant I get to live in silence and peace, solace and peace. Excuse me. Oh my God, today. Believe in yourself because the hustle culture don't. The hustle culture hates you. And it is designed in this raggedy ass society. It is designed to take away from your divine purpose. Tap in. Whew. And I'm telling you, collective, you got to love yourself more than they hate you. Oh, my God, today, you got to love yourself more than they hate you. Cass, who was they? All of them. Every last one of them. That's who they are. Anybody that is in opposition to your beautiful healing journey of your growth, that's who they is. How do you keep your sanity alive? Honey, if you're preparing for an exam like that, then you in the thick of it. Again, you are on go. I would even tell you to stop. This is not your season. That's not your season. If you're preparing for an exam like that where the selection rate is 0.1%, then you wanna focus that a lot of us ain't even we done been through that focus before. We done been through that focus before. That's just the season you're in. You are in a season where you are creating a path for yourself. And a part of that path is taking an examination. That's your season. How do you keep yourself sane? You do the things that calms your body down. Working out, yoga, meditation, prayer, speaking to people, finding a therapist, connecting with other people who are also in this selection rate, drinking tea, eating right. That's practical guidance. That's practical guidance. But you are in a season where your utmost attention span is required. There's no magical potion for that. I'm going to always keep it real with you. Oh my God, today. And that is a part of being receptive. That is a part of being receptive, my friend. You relax when you can. Because if I would have asked, if my younger self, who was suited and booted for this United States government here, if I would have asked, my younger self would have asked me that question today me would have told yesterday's me the same thing. Baby, you about to go into a battlefield, literally, where you're supporting those who are on the front line. My God, today, what your job that you're doing, both foreign and domestic, you're on all the time. There is no R&R. There is no rest and relaxation. You do what you must in that time. There's no easy solution. The game calls for you to be on point. And when I came home, I had to sleep. I would come home. They give you a span of time to relax. Some people got a month. Some people extended that. Listen, however, all of that was just sleep. And then I still needed to recover. And I'm sure many other people did as well. There's no secret sauce to that, baby. You in the thick of it, you in the thick of it. And nobody is exempt from it. And we understand. And we wish you the best of luck. Okay? Those type of examinations are nail biting. And my goodness, if it's on one of those things, you got to fill out the bubble. I don't know if that's worse than the computer, because sometimes when them type of exams, they make you sit in front of the computer with the video screen to make sure you're not cheating on your phone. All that is anxiety ridden. You got to deal with that if that's what you want. If that's a way for your God-given talent to be expressed to get to the next level, baby, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, again, take it how it resonates. This just might not be your season, and that is okay. And that's also a great message. And I appreciate you even tapping in with that, because that's real. That's real. A lot of people be like, well, wait a minute. No, I can't stop. I can't relax. I got something that's much bigger than me that I'm trying to get to. That's real. That don't mean that one choice in your day cannot benefit you in your relaxation, in your recovery, in you just getting a grip on yourself. That's real. We wish you the best of luck. Kick ass. Let us know how it goes. Okay? Let us know how it goes. Even 20 minutes, man, I tell you. And stop sleeping. Y'all collective, stop sleeping on your breathing and your meditation. Please. Please. Tap in. Whew. Now, I got about 5 more minutes here before I dip up out of here. I told you I was not going to be long, but I will be strong. My overall message for you is that you've healed more than you think. That's my message. And do not allow the shame to get you to believe that you are unworthy. A lot of that in which you're holding is not even yours. It was placed upon you. Tap in. Let that go. Tap in. Any questions for me before I dip up out of here? Let me know. Hi, Emery. Sweet Tooth, you are so welcome. You are so very welcome. I'm telling you, man, we wish you the best of luck. That exam sounds crazy. It reminds me of this exam that I had stumbled upon that was like for accountants. And it was to become like a certified world accountant. And the list is so small because it's like one of the most difficult tests you could ever take. And it was like it's like being a globe worthy accountant. Okay. And it was like 15 people on this list. Okay. The test for it was outrageous. Okay. Oh my gosh, collective. Any other questions before I get up out of here? Okay, let me look at the chat. Let's see. How did you find this live stream? Let's read the results. I sub with notifications, 13%. Wow, I think that's the lowest that we've ever had. Let me take a picture of that. Hold on, y'all. Let me take a picture. Okay. 38% say I'm doom scrolling. Hey, doom scrollers. 11% video was shared and clicked. Thank you to everybody that shared the video. And then finally, you're in my feed, 38%. So Doomsday and in feed were tied at 38%. Thank you to everybody that took the poll. Don't forget, y'all, I have a wonderful 7-day empowering guide to intentional mornings. Check it out. It is currently on sale in my store. You guys will not regret it. It is beautiful. It is a culmination of all the things that I have done when I hit the reset button on myself. Okay. And it has guided me to live a life of intention no matter what season I'm in. Okay. And so I took all those lessons that were bestowed upon me and I put it in a beautiful 7-day course. You can finish it in one day, really, but it's designed for you to take in each lesson over 7 days. Okay. So there's that, guys. The link for that is both in the description and in this chat. It is pinned at the top. Any other questions before I get up out of here? You said it's very helpful. Yay. I'm glad to hear that. Oh my gosh. Now, before I get up out of here, collective, if you are watching and you are close to your phone, please go down to that little activation heart button that you see where you can tap the heart, let YouTube know that you came here today. And I really, truly appreciate it. We've ended this live stream. We're about to end this live stream with 25 likes. If you have not liked this video, go ahead on and like it. If you would like to share this video, do so. Share it with yourself in a text message, share it in an email, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, okay? And my favorite thing to do is share this video in a playlist on YouTube that says messages to my future self and go back and replay it again. Collective, you guys are absolutely amazing. I loved hanging out with you today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope this message touched you and that you learned something from it or that it just inspired you to truly love on yourself more. Many things coming up. I will be sharing some things in the membership very soon, actually probably today or tomorrow. And that's it. I think that's all I have, guys. So stay beautiful. Always walk with your crown on. My name is Cash Young Crown. I'm an intuitive prophetic speaker, and my ultimate goal in life is to guide beautiful, loving people just like you to live intentionally through self-empowerment and spiritual awareness. I see the question, is manifestation true? How do I do that? Yes, it is, and we can talk about it on another one, but I'm getting up out of here. Love you. Bye, guys.